The Daily Wire has put a gag order on Candace Owens. Many of you know that Candace Owens was fired by the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro fired her, and she was trying to debate him after the firing. However, now she has been placed under a gag order where she cannot discuss various topics related to the Daily Wire, and I'm in absolute and utter shock. She is under a gag order. Holy cow. Let's jump into this video from Better Bachelor. I'll link you in his channel so you can go and check him out and subscribe to his channel also.
Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. You guys kind of know that whether it's other content creators or people in men's spaces or conservatives or lefties or whoever, I try to call things out when I see them. Not always. I do miss some things, and there's other things that are kind of hot button topics that I don't necessarily talk about on this channel. But I do try to call things out so that way at least those of you that are unaware that something is going on are aware, and then you can make up your own mind about how you feel about it. That's what the news used to do, is they would tell you, hey, this thing is going on, here's the news, and then you know about it and you can make decisions. Well, what was it, last year, or maybe, no, the year before, I entered a contest for the Daily Wire, and I plugged Jeremy's Razors, and I plugged signing up for Daily Wire. I was a member of Daily Wire. I had their razors, and it was to win a contest, but I thought the Daily Wire was, it was a good company. I listened to Ben Shapiro. I listened to Matt Walsh. I listened to some of their other content creators. Well, recently they got into a scuffle with Candace Owens because she was saying, hey, you know what? Not everything is anti-Semitic. Not everything is bad, and we need to call things out, and we need to disagree on some things. And then they summarily decided to part ways with her. I didn't look too much into the controversy, to be honest with you. But they were going to do a debate. Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens were going back and forth on Twitter. And even if you don't care necessarily anything about Daily Wire or left or right or whatever, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, you should at least know the grifters, the people that are out there that are telling you one thing and doing another. I don't like that because basically it's the same as lying. It's saying, well, I feel this way very strongly about a thing, and then in the meantime, they're doing something else. That's dishonest, and that's kind of, it's dishonest, and it's lying. Well, Daily Wire got into a feud, and specifically Ben Shapiro, and he got into a feud with Candace, and they were going to do a debate, and they were going to talk about some things. And then the debate never happened, and people were asking, like, well, what's going on? Why is this not happening? Because they did fire her, presumably. Although they just say they parted ways, but they pretty much fired her. And they were going to debate, and people are saying, like, what's going on? Why is this? Where is the debate? Well, come to find out, the Daily Wire, this is from Glenn Greenwald. He's a good writer, and he does investigative reporting, and I follow his work very closely. Well, it turns out, as the Daily Wire publicly negotiated a debate with Candace Owens, it secretly sought and obtained a gag order against her. And so it's kind of, on one hand, they're openly saying, hey, we're going to do this debate, we'll talk about it. And then they're going to an arbitrator behind the scenes quietly and saying, hey, if we do this debate, she's been disparaging against us and saying things. And in our contract that we had with her, the NDA, she can't be disparaging. So we want you to put a gag order on her so she can't debate us. And then they come back out publicly and they say, well, we're waiting for the debate. What's going on? Glenn writes, on April 5th, Candace Owens publicly invited her former Daily Wire colleague, Ben Shapiro, to a debate about Israel and the current definition of anti-Semitism. It was Owens' criticisms of the U.S. financing of Israel and her criticisms of Israel's war in Gaza that caused her departure from the Daily Wire 2 weeks earlier. Both Shapiro and the Daily Wire's CEO, Jeremy Boring, responded by saying that they would like to arrange the debate requested by Owens. That night, Shapiro appeared to accept her offer, writing on X, sure, Candace, I texted you on February 29th offering this very thing. The Daily Wire co-founder added, let's do it on my show this Monday at 5 p.m. at our studios in Nashville, 90 minutes live streamed. After Owens objected to the format and timing, she and then Boring exchanged several tweets in which they appeared to be negotiating and then agreeing to the terms and format of the debate. Owens had suggested the debate be moderated by Joe Rogan or Lex Friedman. Shapiro said he wanted no moderator.
Now, guys, I want to talk about this. The fact that it's insane how our reality actually exists. There is no one that is on our side. Everyone around us is trying to control us and trying to silence us. Look at what was happening. Listen, I don't agree with everything that Candace Owens says. I am not a fan of everything she says. I think that she was very unfair to Steven Crowder when that situation happened with his wife, and she basically has said that she would invite his wife onto her platform so that she could tell her story. When in reality, because his wife leaked a video of him having a conversation, which she edited so that you wouldn't know the full context of it. That made him look like a villain. And so again, I don't agree with everything Candace says. I don't agree with everything she does. And, at the end of the day, she is who she is as a person. She is not better than any other person, better than any other woman. But let me be very, very clear. We have to understand that none of these people are heroes. A lot of these people that you watch on the internet, that you watch on these channels, they are not heroes. Okay? They have their own intent, they have their own plans, they're making their money. They're 100% just making their money. And I think that we all have to be aware of it, and we have to be very, very careful who we allow to, take up occupation within our minds, who we open our thoughts up to. Because think about this, what's happening in the background. They're publicly like, oh, we're waiting to, figure things out for this debate. Privately, they've already silenced her. Privately, they've already, set the dogs. And I mean, they're all lawyers. Ben Shapiro is a lawyer. So she's probably scared crapless of even opening her mouth right now. And that's why we've barely heard anything from her. And they're trying to settle all of this arbitrarily. When Steven Crowder received a contract from them, and it was for like $50 million, and everyone was like, what the heck is wrong with Steven Crowder? Because he was like ranting and raving about the contract they sent over to him, and he was saying how horrible the contract was. Everyone was like, well, he's crazy. I mean, and then Ben Shapiro was like, you're not under any requirements to sign it, and blah, blah, blah. But now that you look back at it and you think about it, he should have published, I'm thinking maybe he should have published the damn contract, shown everyone what was sent over to him, because he's not under any stipulation that he has to keep the contract secret. Because now you're looking at it, you're wondering what the heck was in Candace's contract. It's likely that she had something in the contract that allowed them to arbitrate, and that's it's clear that's how they were able to get the gag order to prevent her from talking about what was happening, because it was in the contract. So you have to wonder what they had in that contract that Steven Crowder saw, and he was like, holy cow, what are you trying to do? It probably scared the living heck out of him that they were coming after him, and they potentially wanted to silence him. He ultimately did not end up working for the Daily Wire, but it was the fact that something in that contract absolutely spooked him to the point where he didn't just simply say no, but he went public with it, that this contract that they tried to put him under was absolutely terrible. And it's funny because you've got Ben Shapiro acting like he's like this great hero, but it's like, don't get on his bad side. Because if you get on his bad side, it's like, don't get on Hulk's bad side, or Hulk smash. Hulk will smash you into a million pieces, and this is the type of person that will turn around and say that you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. They'll gaslight you. They'll 100% gaslight you. So I was really surprised when I saw this, and it's interesting that Joker picked it up. Shout out to Joker. And we all have to be very, very aware of these things. These are things that are happening around us, and these are things that absolutely affect us and affect our lives. Especially, me being a creator in the manosphere, and us being consumers of manosphere content. These things overlap. these things 100% overlap. Guys, so also don't forget I have a channel called Angry where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, or whatever else interests me. There's a link to in the description of the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Support my work. What do you guys think regarding this? The Daily Wire put a gag order on Candace Owens. Are you surprised by this? Are you going to continue watching their content? The comment section with Brett Cooper. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.